Is this thing on? Oh, it is. Hey, everyone. We are so excited you're here tonight, and I'm so excited to host this event with one of my favorite guys on the radio, Jake McBride.
Yay.
There's going to be lots of jokes made tonight, but we are so happy you guys are here for the 16th Annual Spark of Hope Awards. I was so excited to become a part of this when they asked. It's really an inspirational event that gives back to one amazing nonprofit here in Northwest Arkansas, the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas.
And I'm kind of happy to be here as well, the celebration, because it is a very unique way the Spark of Hope event brings our community together in one special evening. And this event is going to honor single parents working towards the higher education, as well as honor the generous individuals and organizations who band together to keep these single parent students succeed.
And like we said, we have so much to celebrate tonight, and this year 38 exceptional single-parent students were selected from a pool of 135 applicants, so many great applicants, to receive an endowed scholarship. Those students featured in your program and on the screen tonight, so make sure you check those out.
And in addition, with
like
the
energy
clapping bunch tonight. I like that. In addition, seated among you are many more scholarship recipients, graduates, and alumni of the Single Parent Scholarship Fund program. We would like these amazing scholars, past and present, to stand right now and be recognized. And do yourself a favor, if you have one of these standing around with you, take just a minute of their time and your time. Introduce yourself to some of these hardworking students who would join us to show their gratitude for your support.
And as you can imagine, community support is so vital in helping the Single Parent Scholarship Fund assist so many single parents with those scholarships, the program, and the support they so deserve to advance their education to provide a more sustainable life for themselves and their families. And it's a quote you've probably heard before: education is truly the great equalizer.
For more than 3 decades, the Single Parent Scholarship Fund in Northwest Arkansas has worked tirelessly to increase access to education for those who might not otherwise have had the opportunity. And over the past 30 years, the organization has come to realize that not just the students benefit from this, but the entire region at large benefits. When we add help, a more educated workforce to our community, everyone wins. Over the past 34 years, get a load of this, the Single Parent Scholarship Fund in Northwest Arkansas has awarded more than 6,300 scholarships worth over $5.1 million.
Love hearing that statistic. Shows all of your hard work right at work there. Now, thousands of single moms and dads have built their family's future with your help, with those generous donations and just showing up tonight by making the courageous decision to go to college, then establish careers in our very own region. And like Jake said, growing our workforce, these students have been enabled to break that cycle of poverty in their lives. Graduates now have those fulfilling careers that pay those sustainable wages. They have other benefits such as retirement plans. These scholarships ultimately eliminate their dependence on government aid and charitable support, all while helping grow our local economy. And perhaps the best of all, the children of those recipients see the efforts of their parents pay off now and think of college as an option for the lives of their own. And make sure you check out that statistic right there. Those are all of our recipients. Awesome stuff.
Now, I have the honor of serving on the Community Leadership Council, where 3 times a year I get the opportunity to help interview the applicants and get to know some of the stories and some of the struggles. And I'm here to tell you, you would be absolutely amazed to learn about what some of the hardships these single parents have overcome. It's really beyond inspirational. Every single semester, students have to reapply for the program and prove through their grade reports that they carry a minimum of a 2.5 grade point average needed to be considered for the scholarship. Now, the quality and determination of the recipients is clearly evident. The average cumulative GPA of all recipients is 3.3, and the graduation retention rate is an amazing 83%. It's amazing.
And of course, because of your generosity, a full-time student attending classes year-round can receive up to $6,000 in scholarship assistance. Tonight, we're going to hear from alumni, current recipients, their children, 6 award winners, and of course, our featured speaker, who I'm super excited about, Cara Brookins. Her story is amazing and really impressive. And as you're listening to their stories, you will see how them building their future and the foundation on education is all because of your support and just showing up tonight. Please welcome Single Parent Scholarship Fund NWA board member Tara Val to the stage as we invocate following before our meals.
There she is.
Please join me in prayer. God, we come before you tonight, mindful of the blessing it is to live in Northwest Arkansas and be connected to one another through an organization like this. I thank you for the opportunity to celebrate the parents here who have overcome challenges, the children who inspire them, and the members of this community who rally around them. All good things come from you, and I pray that the many good things happening in this community will continue and extend beyond these walls and these counties. Help us love one another and extend to each other the grace that we are given every day. With grateful hearts and in your name we pray. Amen.
As Matt said, voice of God, Matt Hicks said, please continue to enjoy your dinner. It is quite lovely and delicious. It's a warm evening in Fayetteville. Obviously, you're here because you love Single Parent Scholarship Fund or you couldn't get tickets to the Razorback game. So glad to have you here regardless, and thank you so much for being here. First things first, if things aren't on social media, they don't exist. So you need to take out your cell phone right now, take a selfie or a picture of your table, and post it on your social media of choice. The Facebooks, as the kids call it, I think, the Twitters, Instagram. Post those moments online throughout the evening, and we'll share those at a later time. It's my privilege to take a moment to appreciate our fantastic sponsors who made tonight possible, including the Walton Family Charitable Foundation, Listerine, Willard and Pat Walker Charitable Foundation, Cox Communication, KEX 104, KNWA, and Cityscapes Magazine. A complete list of your sponsors can be found in your program. Join me now as we thank our sponsors for this evening. Many people assume that Single Parent Scholarship Fund in Northwest Arkansas, that all we do is award money and financial assistance to our single parents, but we do much, much more than that. We provide special family recreation opportunities like baseball games, train rides, water park days, special fun events that our recipient families might not otherwise be able to afford or have the time to take out time to do so. We partner with many community groups to provide opportunities for personal and professional growth. These programs help scholarship recipients with career readiness through our PRO program, in which we pair recipients with professionals within their career field to give them the current information about what it would be like to actually work in their career. Our Career Exploration Day is when we put our students in the region's most important employers for a full day of recruitment meetings, tours, and corporate cultural training. We listen to our students' needs, and we have launched 3 new initiatives in 2018, a very bold gesture. Our students can now have the availability of therapeutic counseling services, a learning coach, and an immersive full-day conference experience. Led by licensed professional counselor and former Single Parent Scholarship recipient, Twyla Ronick, counseling sessions are now being offered at no charge to our current recipients, and Twyla knows firsthand how difficult the path to education can be for a single parent, and she has private and confidential appointments available each week to help students cope with the issues of anxiety, parenting, stress, trauma, and more. After the sudden and tragic loss of her husband in 2006, Twyla was left a single parent, a mother of 4 young children without a plan and means to support her family. Twyla knows from this experience what the effects can have on a single parent, such as self-esteem, family interactions, children's behaviors, and perceptions of life. Twyla's services are available for our recipients in Washington, Carroll, and Madison County, and is made possible through a relationship and partnership with our sister organization at Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Benton County. I would like to ask Twyla to please stand to be recognized. Twyla? It's a joy to have Twyla in our office once a week, and I know that our students, recipients, are enjoying her services. Another new service for our scholarship recipients is directed by volunteer learning coach, Dr. Karen Hodges, a longtime organizational supporter and lifelong educator. Dr. Hodges, who earned her own PhD as a single parent, individually meets and works with students to help them obtain their academic and education goals. Just as a sports coach would help an athlete develop skills and strategies, a learning coach helps a student develop study skills and strategies in the classroom, for success in the classroom. Our scholarship recipients can now schedule sessions with Dr. Hodges and discuss their academic challenges and work on creating a game plan for success. Dr. Hodges is a devoted member of our Community Leadership Council and a former board director. She previously worked as a faculty member and academic administrator at the Northwest Arkansas Community College and the University of Arkansas. She retired in 2018 and now is allowed time to now volunteer doing what she loves the most, helping students succeed. Karen, Dr. Hodges, will you please stand to be recognized? Thank you, Dr. Hodges. Lastly, to help bridge the gap in student services, we are planning the inaugural Empowerment Summit, a conference that will connect alumni, recipient, and interested applicants in an array of resources, including personal branding, resume building, interview skills, financial planning, and much, much more. The date has been set for Saturday, September the 15th at Mount Sequoia Retreat Center, and we need your help. If you want to get involved, please get in contact with a staff member. I know there's a lot of stuff happening, kind of a state of the union for you, but please know that we are still rooted in our mission to support recipients, their children, and their successes. It's hard to believe in the next few weeks I will have finished my first year as Executive Director of Single Parent Scholarship Fund in Northwest Arkansas. It almost brings a tear to my eye. It is truly my privilege to lead the hardest working team in Northwest Arkansas, an honor to support the single moms and dads and their families. Thank you for this opportunity. At this time, I would like to recognize the wonderful team who execute our mission daily. They need to stand to be recognized, please. Carrie DeVore, Program Director. Joy Morris, Development Director. Coy Evans, Associate Director of Annual Giving. Our newest team member, Mallory Mounts, Outreach Manager. And the one that holds us all together, our Office Manager, Sarah Stripling. They keep me straight, y'all. Thank you so much. You guys are a fantastic team. A nonprofit team is only as strong as the board of directors. And at the Single Parent Scholarship Fund, we are led by 22 fearless and dedicated board members. At this time, I ask them to stand to be recognized. Because of these amazing people, our recipients, our alumni, and our supporters, the year looks just as bright and as exciting as the last 34 years. And speaking of a bright future, I had the privilege to introduce a recipient tonight, Jessica Frazier. Jessica is a 6-time scholarship recipient, a Greg and Hannah Lee Endowed Scholar, and is seeking her bachelor's in accounting from Missouri Southern State University. To continue her education soon to achieve her master's degree, and one day to own her own accounting firm. She's the proud mom of Trey, who is 11, and Alea, who is 8. Ladies and gentlemen, please put a warm welcome together for Jessica Frazier.
Hello. Being a single parent is twice the work, twice the stress, and twice the tears, but also twice the hugs, twice the love, and twice the pride. Raising a family is difficult enough, but it's even more difficult for single parents struggling to make ends meet. They don't need more obstacles, they need more opportunities. I didn't plan on being a single mom of 2, Trey, who is 11, and Alea, who is 8, but you must deal with the cards you are dealt with the best way that you can. It was a choice I made that has made me to continue to work on myself for the better of my children's future. I was making that last penny stretch. I was doing it all by myself, plus trying to get that little bit of overtime in so they could have what they needed. I was tired though, day in and day out. I woke up one morning and that morning housing had led me to where I am today. I signed up for school and applied for the Single Parent Scholarship. I didn't think I was going to receive it as I had no self-confidence, but much to my surprise, I did receive it. I was now on my way to earn that college degree. Obtaining a college degree had been a dream of mine since I was a child, as I will be the first in my immediate family to obtain such a high honor. With being the oldest sibling on my father's side, I am now a mentor to my younger siblings. They have no doubt about planning college now. I've had plenty of restless nights from working on homework until 3 to 4 a.m. The kids have seen me so stressed out that they want to take over, but I am the mother, so I stand strong for them and I push through. They inspire me as well as encourage me. They tell me, "Mom, you're the best. I will go to college when I grow up because you show us we can do it. My challenging work will pay off in the future. As a single mom, I'm juggling a lot of work and working long hours. Yes, it costs them a little, but what my children get in return is a mother who is energized and content. I have been awarded the Single Parent Scholarship 6 times and earned an Associates of Science, Business, and Associates of Science, Liberal Arts and Science. I'm transferring to Missouri Southern State in the fall to work on my bachelor's in accounting. I had placed on being a bookkeeper, but my success I have experienced and the support I have been given has encouraged me to work towards becoming a CPA. My dream could not have been achieved if it wasn't for the support I'm given from my children and as well as the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas. The Single Parent Scholarship Fund has given me the opportunity to be a part of their family and it has been a great blessing. Not only have I gained financial resources to assist in my education, but we have gained a family and support. Thank you does not describe my gratitude to each and every one of you here tonight that has given my children, myself, and every single parent recipient their support. You all make it possible for us to further our education while relieving some stress and providing us with extra opportunities we can be a part of. Without your support, we, as single parent recipients, could not be where we are today. I know how to do anything. I'm a mom. She must have 4 arms, 4 legs, 4 eyes, 2 hearts, and double the love. There is nothing single about a single mom. I can do it, and so can you. Thank you.
Thank you to Jessica, and thank you to all of you who support the Single Parent Scholarship Fund and gave Jessica the confidence she needed to put her family on a pathway to prosperity. You might have seen these amazing stained glass pieces on stage this evening. These are hand-curated awards designed by local artisan Kathy Gilbert, who used our mission and her own experience as a single parent for inspiration for these beautiful awards. And her artist statement on these screens is in front of you. So right now is the time to recognize 2 of those individuals who have spent 3 decades supporting students like Jessica. Please turn your attention to the screen and recognize the individual Spark of Hope Award winners, Susan and Jean Anderson.
The honor of Outstanding Individuals for 2018 is being awarded to a very deserving couple, Susan and Jean Anderson. Susan remembers the first time hearing about the organization in the late 90s from supporters Diane Shaw and the late Thomas Jakeway, who were talking enthusiastically about the positive impacts of the efforts being made to assist single parents. Shortly after, Jean and Susan attended their first event, and they've been involved ever since. The Andersons met at Nebraska Wesleyan University. Susan caught Jean's eye in a book entitled New Faces. It was intended for freshmen to get to know one another. Now, Jean made sure to introduce himself at the first opportunity he had, which was a Coke date social. Jean found Susan to be just as pretty in person, also very smart and studious. After college, Jean was accepted into the physical therapy program at the Mayo Clinic School of Health Sciences. In 1969, like many young men of his generation, Jean was drafted into military service. He felt blessed to help soldiers returning from Vietnam and the Army Medical Service Corps at Martin Army Hospital in Fort Benning, Georgia. After completing his service, the Andersons moved to the Ozarks, and Gene established a private practice right here in Northwest Arkansas, where he served his profession before retiring in 2005. Susan earned her master's degree in school counseling at the University of Arkansas. With 4 years teaching in a classroom, Susan opted to work individually with children, helping them overcome personal challenges and barriers to education. She worked in children's services at Ozark Guidance for 22 years and in the Rogers School District for 12 years before retiring in 2008. Neither Jean nor Susan wanted to be people who worked from 8 to 5 and went home. They wanted to give back. And since retiring, they have devoted themselves to service even more. Jean has been active with a number of local organizations, including the Community Clinic, Stephen Ministry, and Springdale Rotary Club. Jean also served 2 consecutive terms with the Single Parent Board of Directors. Susan is a member of a local PEO, Stephen Ministry, and has served in several capacities in her church and within the Presbytery of Arkansas. They are both active members of the First Presbyterian Church in Springdale. Gene recalls the first time he served as a panelist on interviews with scholarship applicants being so moved that he thought to himself he'd really like to be able to establish an endowed scholarship to make success possible for future generations of determined families. This all became a reality in 2015 when the Gene and Susan Anderson Endowed Scholarship was established through the Pathway to Prosperity campaign. The name Endowed Scholarship is now awarded each year to a student in a medical or mental health field. Gene and Susan shared, both of us were able to enjoy careers in which we had the opportunity to affect others' lives in positive ways. We hope through this scholarship to continue to support the education of others with similar goals. We are pleased to award tonight's 2018 Spark of Hope Award for Outstanding Individuals to Gene and Susan Anderson. The honor of Outstanding Individuals.
Please continue your applause for Susan and Gene Anderson.
I know I speak for Susan when I say that we are honored and humbled to receive this award, but the true heroes are those of you who are scholarship recipients and graduates. Many times during interviews, I would hear how it would change my life, their lives, with the gifts that were given to them. But I don't think they realize how much it changed the lives of us who are donors, who are involved in any way with Single Parent Scholarship. So as you have been blessed by Single Parent Scholarship, you have been a blessing to us. And thank you.
Congratulations. Give them another round of applause. Well deserved. It's our privilege to hear from a very special guest who continues to build on the foundation she's laid as a former recipient. This is always one of my fun parts. The 2013 graduate of the Northwest Arkansas Community College in Respiratory Therapy and a proud mom of Isaiah 19, Caden 16, Cambry 13, and twins Kiara and Cantrell. Twins, holy buckets. Please give a warm welcome to Jacqueline Anderson. How are you?
Hello, my name is Jacqueline. So my story starts at the age of 18 when I became a teen mom in high school. Before my son was born, the you can'ts, you don'ts, and the you won'ts became a part of my daily life. I was shunned at the time by my mom, my peers and their parents, educators, and my church family. My son was born a month and a half before I graduated high school. I went on to marry my son's father, and we would end up having 2 other children. Soon after we found out that we were expecting our 3rd child, my husband's mother passed away, and he turned to alcohol to cope. The drinking brought with it mental and physical abuse, as well as money problems. Shortly before our 3rd child was born, my husband took my last $20 out of my wallet to buy alcohol. I was devastated. How could he do that to me, to our family? What if one of our kids needed medicine or we ran out of milk? How could we continue to live like this? The answer was quick, short, and simple. We couldn't. So at 9 months pregnant and with 2 kids, I left my husband. I had a decent job at the VA, and I was already paying all our bills. How hard could it be? After maternity leave, I realized that with 3 kids in daycare, I didn't make enough money to pay bills and outrageous daycare costs. So after only 1 month back at work, I was forced to quit my job and live off government assistance and welfare. I did this for 8 months until my oldest child started kindergarten. I immediately found work and was happy to support my little family again. We were happy and safe and continued to live that way for a few years. Then I met someone who swept us all off our feet. After almost a year of dating, we talked about marriage and moved in together. It only took 5 weeks for the abuse to begin. 2 weeks into the abuse, I was rushed to the ER when my neighbor heard me being beaten and called 911. It was that ER visit in which I found out I was pregnant with twins. My first response was devastation. I was devastated because I was bringing not 1, but 2 children into this already chaotic life. Devastated because I had plans to leave their father, and devastated because I was told the injuries I sustained would force me to be on bed rest until I delivered. I knew we had to leave that situation, so we did. We ended up in Springdale housing, living off government assistance again. But we were safe, and that's what mattered most to me. 5 months later, I delivered twins who contracted a respiratory virus and were flown to Children's Hospital in Little Rock. Kentrell would be discharged a few days later, but Kiara remained on life support for a month and wasn't discharged until a month after that. Kiara also lost the motor skills needed to drink from a bottle, so she left the hospital with a feeding tube placed in her stomach. When we returned home, she and her twin brother were enrolled in the Elizabeth Richardson Center, where they would receive daily therapies. After getting them settled, I was ready to get back to work and supporting my family again. However, that was 2008, when the recession was in full swing and finding a job seemed impossible. That is when I decided to go back to school to obtain skills and knowledge to support my family. I decided on respiratory therapy because the respiratory team had saved my daughter's life, and I actually became very close to them during that time. The next 4 years were a whirlwind. As I advanced in my studies, I would incur additional costs as clinicals approached. Then I received the news that all my clinicals would be in Fort Smith. I was speaking to my employer at the time about the financial situation of continuing with the respiratory program when she mentioned Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas. I researched the scholarship and found out that the money didn't have to be spent on tuition and books, but I could use the money for gas and repairs to make my trips to Fort Smith for clinicals. So I applied. My interview was set and I was nervous. This you can't, you won't, you don't, single mother of 5 had to convince a room full of people that they should gamble on me. I had a great GPA, so I wasn't worried about that part, but I was sure that they would think that I was a hot mess. I was so nervous and so used to rejection and judgment that I already felt defeated. I sat down and they started asking questions. Why respiratory? Where will my kids go while I'm at school? Where do I work? What do I do? What are my short-term versus long-term goals? If selected, what would the money most likely be used for? At the end, I finally had the nerve to look up, and the gentleman to my left was just staring at me, and I thought, yep, I blew it. Now they know I'm a hot mess. But then he said something that changed me forever and still brings tears to my eyes to this day. He said, wow, I'm so impressed. You do all of this, work, school, and are raising 5 kids, one with special needs, and that's amazing. Sorry. Thank you. This was the first time I had heard someone speak kindly about me and what I was trying to accomplish, because everyone had thought I was crazy when I decided to go back to school. I was awarded the scholarship, and from that day forward have always felt supported by this amazing organization. Not just financially, but emotionally as well. I had people rooting for me, people I didn't want to disappoint. It wasn't until then that I realized that I hadn't been capable of raising confident children because I wasn't confident myself. I didn't believe fully in myself until then, and how could I instill those characteristics in my children if I didn't have them myself? Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas changed that about me. Through encouragement and support, I built the confidence I needed to succeed and teach my children that the possibilities are endless for them as well. During my time as a scholar, my children and I have gotten to attend so many fun events: Golftoberfest, Scholarship Splash, Naturals Games, train rides. It was so nice to take a few hours off from relentlessly working towards goals and raising kids to have some fun. I remember my first Jingle Mingle. It was so festive and fun. It was a tough year, and I'd been a little down about a tree and gifts that were likely not going to happen. They gave away the Christmas trees at the end of the event, and I got one. To some, it might have just been a tree, but to me, it represented hope. We'd been through so much, and we had so much to be thankful for. When I finally got the tree home, my kids' eyes lit up like it was Christmas morning. When you live with the bare minimum, the smallest things mean the world to you. Now, here we are, 7 years into my journey with Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas, and I'm speaking at an event that I look forward to each year. I absolutely love Spark of Hope because it reminds me of all the support I had when I thought I was alone. It makes me reflect on where my family was compared to where we are now. We have not needed welfare assistance since I graduated 5 years ago. Thank you. I no longer live paycheck to paycheck. I now have an emergency fund saved for unexpected expenses. I'm close to owning my very first home. I've taken my kids on vacation to places like St. Louis and Destin, and all my children aspire to be college graduates. Yes. So as I stand here, I feel that I've come full circle. I'm able to give not only my time through the Alumni Association, but I'm at a place where I'm blessed enough to also give financially as well. I now get to be a part of paving a path to prosperity. If there's anything I've taken from this organization, it's this: love conquers all, and it takes a village, y'all. Lost my place, sorry. Donors and sponsors, I thank you. Thank you for believing in me, making me believe in myself. I hope that your hearts swell with pride from helping so many families in our community. Recipients, look around. It amazes me every year at how many people show up to support and encourage us. Take this in. I can't think of any other place that someone can get this much support. It's amazing. If you ever start to doubt yourself or your progress, remember this moment. All these donors who are rooting you on so that one day you will have had the opportunity to come full circle as supporters as well. Love to you all. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Chair of the Board of Directors, Natalie Bartholomew, and Vice Chair and SPSF NWA alumnus, Dina Fleshman.
I almost fell right over there. So this is the fun part of the night where we ask for your money. That's not on the script. This is also a friendly reminder for those of you who are participating in social media tonight to be sure to use the correct hashtag. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine. So be sure you do hashtag Spark of Hope so that we can be sure to watch all of your great posts for tonight. We should consider ourselves fortunate to live in a region like Northwest Arkansas. With the wealth, success, and amenities we have, it's sometimes difficult to recognize that there are many others who are in need. Right now, 1 in 4 children in Northwest Arkansas is living in poverty and in food insecurity. Children in single-parent families have disproportionately higher rates of poverty and food insecurity, and nearly 3/4 of children living in single-mother families are low income. But thanks to you, there is hope, and now is the time to invest in scholarships and build more vibrant futures for our families. I invite you to become a part of the community effort, ending poverty and creating prosperity by offering encouragement and access to higher education. I know we can do this because Single Parent Scholarship Fund has some of the most dedicated supporters in Northwest Arkansas who believe in hardworking scholarship recipients. As a donor and board member, I witnessed firsthand not only the benefit each dollar has on our recipients, but also how fiscally sound your investment really is.
As you heard at the beginning of the evening, 38 of our families are funded through our endowment, which means we depend on Spark of Hope to support the remaining 100 families. With corporate sponsorships, gifts, and grants raised to date, we are at $21,250 shy of what we need to raise. With the passion of those gathered here tonight, we can believe we can meet this goal for our recipients.
Single Parent Scholarship Fund of NWA is in a unique position. A grant from the Walton Family Charitable Foundation covers all administrative costs, including staff, salaries, office supplies, rent, utilities, etc. So when I ask you to give tonight, I am asking you for a gift that will go directly to scholarships and to student support.
Many of you have been to an event where you are just asked to give. At Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas, we are asking you to become a partner to ensure single-parent families in the room have foundation of success, starting with education. Help us grow that foundation for all of Northwest Arkansas. Your gift will be an investment in education, an investment in our local economy, and an investment in our future community. Friends, I am living proof of your financial investment pays dividends into the future. I was a single parent for just over 17 years and an 8-time Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas recipient. While obtaining my degree, I worked full-time. Upon graduation, I could obtain employment that doubled my annual income. And now, 10 years later, past graduation, my income has increased 600% since graduation. Single Parent The Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas literally enabled me to lift my family out of poverty and into prosperity.
Traditionally, our alumni have taken up pledge cards that include your gift or pledge, and they'll do that in just a few minutes. But tonight we are offering the opportunity to make a gift easily, safely, and securely online at your table. So pull out your cell phones. I know you all brought one tonight. And open a web browser and go to, I believe there are little tents on your tables showing you the web address to where you can go and give. And it's give.spfnwa.org. That is give.spfnwa.org. And there you will find an interface where you can give via credit card or PayPal. Your donations will be tracked on the screens throughout the evening, and we'll check in from time to time to see if we have reached our goal of $21,250. We'll also have alumni volunteers who can assist you if you're technologically challenged. That's not on the script as well, but I know this table over here is probably technologically challenged. At this time, we will bring up the house lights to allow you to complete those pledge cards, make a gift online, or get assistance from one of our fantastic alumni. A duo from the Arkansas Philharmonic will provide music to inspire us to support the cause. Let's open up your wallets.
Thank you all for your generous support. We will update you on our progress throughout the evening. You can continue to give online at givespsfnwa.org or complete those pledge cards, and we will retrieve them at the end of the evening. At this time, I invite you to turn your attention to the screen as we introduce another Spark of Hope Award winner, United Bank, as the Corporate Supporter of the Year.
Making Northwest Arkansas a better place to live and work is something that United Bank has been committed to since its founding. Celebrating 40 years of serving our region, this locally owned community bank has deep roots here. Not only is United 100% Northwest Arkansas owned and operated, but it's the oldest independent community bank chartered in Washington County. Currently operating 2 branches in Springdale, 1 in Fayetteville, 1 in Rogers, and opening a new location in Bentonville in 2019, United Bank brings a wide variety of services to everyone in our community, from FDIC-insured deposit accounts, home loans, and personal loans, to business loans, cash management services, and online banking. Several years ago, the bank began looking to partner with an area organization on a deeper, more significant level than they had done previously. While United Bank has always been very entrenched in the community through its support of smaller initiatives, they wanted to make a bigger impact for one organization. Feedback from bank staff, customers, and people in the community made it clear that getting involved with Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas was a win-win relationship. In 2015, the bank made plans to endow a scholarship, a major investment and incredible gift to SPSF NWA. United Bank President Nathan Garahan said, "Our partnership with Single Parent Scholarship Fund will help ensure that single parents and their families will have the opportunity to achieve their dreams and improve their quality of life, which greatly benefits the entire Northwest Arkansas region. We're very proud to support educational opportunities for single parents that provide hope and change lives." Over the years, United Bank staff and their families have attended scholarship luncheons, Jingle Mingle, and Spark of Hope. Also, their entire team looks forward to Golftoberfest each year. They're already talking about bringing their miniature golf A games to the tournament, and it's still 4 months away. In addition to the great partnership with Single Parent, United Bank is involved in the Downtown Springdale Revitalization Loan Program and Invest Springdale. Also, their team is philanthropic with organizations such as the Children's Safety Center, House of Hope, Shop with a Cop, Toys for Tots, Autism Involves Me, Northwest Arkansas Emerging Leaders, Altruza, and various city, civic, and school activities. And if that wasn't a lot of involvement, United Bank's team has created and teaches a financial literacy program for school children. They provide mentorship and supplies for Owl Creek's Lemonade Days, which helps teach 3rd graders about starting a small business. Last year, the United Bank team also collected 500 sets of hats and gloves to give to students at Lee Elementary School in Springdale. And to top it all off, the bank provides the Dick Barclay United Bank Scholarship each year to a graduating high school senior from Rogers High School and Rogers Heritage High School. When asked what words of advice they would have to our scholarship recipients, United Bank said, "Congratulations on taking such a big step. We truly admire you. You've chosen to pursue something that's going to require a lot of hard work and discipline, and you're choosing to do it in a time in your life where the journey is not going to be the easiest. But that shows a great deal of character and dedication. Not only will your education be a great value to your family once you've completed your program, but you're teaching your children the value of hard work and education. Seeing you achieve your dreams will encourage them to always pursue theirs. You should be proud of the example you're setting for them." We are proud to award the 2018 Spark of Hope Award for Outstanding Corporate Partner to United Bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nathan Garahan, President of United Bank, to accept this award.
I just want to go ahead and say the chocolate cupcakes are terrible. So don't touch those. I'll take care of them later on. I'll do that for you guys. I'm that way. Have you not been touched by what you've heard tonight by some of these folks, these moms? You realize how hard it is for them to get up here and do what they do? Well, the scholarship program is built on what is known as a two-generation approach. We know that the children of college graduates are more likely to attend and successfully complete college themselves. So by investing in the education of the parent, you're ultimately investing in the education of the children and countless generations to follow. Amelia Batista is a 5-time recipient of the Single Parent Scholarship and a 2-time recipient of the Bob and Diane Shaw Family Endowed Scholarship. Now, Amelia is pursuing her associate's degree at NWA Community College. She plans to go to become a dental hygienist. She's currently working as a dental assistant and raising her 4 children. So I'm pleased to introduce tonight to share more about their mom's educational journey and the impact of the scholarships on their family. Please help me in welcoming to the stage Brighton, 18, Brendel, 17, Bianca, 14, and Blige, 13.
Okay, so he just read their names, but I want you guys to individually introduce yourself and let us know where you go to school.
I'm Brighton Cook. I'm 18 years old, and I just graduated from Harbor High School.
I'm Blige Cook. I'm 13 years old, and I'm graduating and going on to Southwest Junior High.
I'm Brendel Cook. I'm 17 years old, and I go to Springdale High School.
I'm Bianca Cook, and I go to Southwest Junior High.
Okay, so these good-looking kids are going to let us know kind of what life is like when you have a parent who's going back to school, what it was like before and after. So the first thing we want to talk about is what was life like before your mom went back to college?
You know, it was a little hard, you know, trying to just figure out like when our next meal would be and like just trying to get through trying to get by through paycheck to paycheck every day.
I just said that, or it's not that hard, but I mean, it was just tough for her to get us to where we needed to go, like to football practice and basketball, and then just the sports and the requirements of like school just throughout the whole week.
Basically everything they just said, like, it was pretty difficult, single mom, trying to raise all 4 of us, feed all 4 of us, and get us to where we need to be.
Really just not knowing like what's gonna happen next. You know, just how we're gonna, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, really just that.
And I know that your mom has talked to you guys about education and why it was so important to her. So tell us some of the words she said to you guys when she decided, you know what, guys, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to college and prove to you guys that, you know, I can do this.
Well, she told us to to encourage her, to make sure that to get her work done and to motivate her to stay on task, and then just make sure she just does good.
How'd you motivate her?
I say if she's too lazy and she just goes into her bed, we'll tell her to get up and then go do her work.
I try to encourage her because college is a hard thing to do, and especially for a single mom, raising all 4 of us and stuff like that. I know it can be pretty hard, so, you know, we try to just encourage her with telling her that, like, she's a strong woman, she could do it all, she's an independent woman, and yeah. Just, like, telling her that we believe in her, because we know that she's capable of providing a better future for all of us.
Really kind of what just my brother said, really just getting on to her, like, hey, go, you know you need to do it. Yeah.
So you guys talked about, how your mom had to take you guys to practice, things like that. It's hard balancing school and life. So how'd you guys pitch in when, mom was balancing school and trying to help you guys get to where you needed to go?
So me and my brother, we drive now, so it's usually pretty much us at the house, getting our little siblings, like, places they need to be. Same with us, too.
We just let them know ahead of time about, like, what's going to go on during the week so they know what to do and when.
Yeah, everything they just said.
Same with us.
So you guys have talked about, how your mom's kind of like a super mom, and you said she's done so much for you guys. What makes you most proud to call her mom?
Just seeing, like, what all she goes through, it's, like, pretty much a worldwide thing. There's a whole bunch of single moms out there who go through the same thing. But, like, to actually see it and, like, live it, it's like, it means a whole lot to us. It makes us all real proud.
I think she's a great mom because since she's a single parent, she would, just with one truck, she'll take us all, well, before they were driving, she would, rush to, one place to another and then just repeatedly do that until we're all done. And then she just goes home.
Just seeing her, provide for us, getting us places where we need to be, having food on the table, clothes on our backs, and her doing that all by herself, it shows me, how strong she can be.
Seeing my mom just to really be an independent woman makes me, not scared to worry about, a man because, because I know that if my mom could do it without, a man, I can too.
So all of you guys have brought up great examples of things that your mom has done and inspired you. But how has your mom's persistence to get her education affected you and your education goals?
I think it's pushed all of us, really, because just to see her do it gives us all hope and aspiration to be just like her, and gives us, an inlook or outlook on to live a better life later on in life.
What he said.
Yes.
So, I know a lot of people are probably wondering, what do you guys want to be when you get older? What are your goals after high school?
Well, me personally, I would like to be an NFL player, but my plan B would be a veterinarian.
I'm gonna just have to follow what my mom's doing, really. Pretty much, I'm the firstborn, so when I was little, we really had nobody watch me, so I'd always hang out with her at work and seeing all that cool stuff that they do, so I'd like to be a dentist when I grow up.
I'm currently in the Law and Public Safety Academy at Springdale High School, so they've been teaching us about the field of law, and that's kind of what I want to work in.
I would like to either be a social studies teacher or a doctor.
And what's your advice, watching your mom go through school and work so hard and struggle with balancing everything? What's your advice for single moms out there who, may be a little wary about going back to school and possibly, leaving their kids during the day? What's your advice for those moms to push them forward?
I'll just say just leave it all up to God, really, because, everything's going to be all right in the end.
What he said.
Just keep your head up, because in the end, everything will be better.
To just go for it, because I know in the long run it'll work out.
Okay, so big round of applause. That takes a lot of courage for them to come up here and chat. that was pretty good stuff.
I'm telling you what you see before you, there was a quote that comes to mind. It's amazing what a group or a team can do when nobody cares who gets the credit, but they all have one common goal. And it seems that this family has one common goal, and that is go to school, following Mom's thing. And I love that you give God the glory as well. I think what you're looking before you is, you know, in today's society, we worry about the future. I don't worry so much about the future when I see that. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now we'd invite you to turn your attention to the screen as we introduce our final 2018 Spark of Hope Award honoree, the supportive community partner, the Event Group.
Determination and hard work have always been themes in Shelley Morrison's life. As the founder, owner, and president of the Event Group, a Fayetteville-based catering company, Shelley has spent the past 22 years serving Northwest Arkansas through her business as well as through her philanthropy. It was the work ethic instilled in her by her family that guided Shelley in her educational and business pursuits. Shelley's grandmother was the first woman at her company to be given a salaried position, and her grandfather became an EMT and assistant fire chief in spite of having an 8th grade education. Raised by a single mother, Shelley drew the most inspiration to better herself by witnessing her mom's dedication to work and family. As a small child, she remembers her mother signing up for typing classes so she could move from a factory job to an office position. Because the most important people in her life showed her the value of hard work, Shelley became a first-generation college graduate, receiving a bachelor's degree in journalism and a master's in education from the University of Arkansas. She also credits community support from her hometown of Siloam Springs for helping her attain her education. Scholarships from local businesses and industries made it easier for her to succeed, and in turn, she's paid that kindness forward through her involvement in causes close to her heart. Shelley first became involved with the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas in 2013 when the Event Group was hired as a caterer. Shelley explained, "Growing up, my mother was a single parent until I was 12 years old. She worked in a factory to provide for me and my younger brother, and we both went on to complete college degrees, the first generation in our family to do so. Seeing her hard work, budget management, and the drive to never give up was a wonderful example." Shelley also supports other area organizations such as Big Brothers Big Sisters, Havenwood, Micah's House, the Botanical Garden of the Ozarks, the Salvation Army, and local schools. She served as the NWA chapter president of Executive Women International and was awarded their Executive of the Year Award in 2010. Additionally, she was named by the NWA Business Journal as a 40 Under 40 recipient, and her business has been voted Best Catering Company by Cityscapes and Celebrate Arkansas magazines. In her free time, Shelley loves to travel the U.S. and explore other countries with her husband Joe and their 15-year-old daughter Riley. Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas is grateful for this amazing partnership with Shelley and the Event Group, and it is our privilege to recognize Shelley tonight as the winner of the 2018 Spark of Hope Outstanding Community Partner Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shelley Morrison from the Event Group.
Guys, let's give another round of applause to Shelley and the Event Group. Okay, now of course tonight is all about those donations and giving back. I mean, you heard their story right there about how much of an impact your monetary donation can really make to our community and all of those single parents out there. So of course, let's check those donation totals on our progress bar as we're getting closer to reaching our goal. Oh look, woo, that's nice. But guys, we do want to raise more. I think we have a goal of what, $22,000?
21.5.
I think we can do it.
22, 27.
So we have made it so, 22, maybe 30,
Yeah.
you know, more money the merrier. And we've made it so easy this year, you can do it by your phone. I know a lot of people are like, I don't have my checkbook. Well, guess what? Everything is on our phone. I've seen everyone have their phones out. So go to that website, give.spsfnwa.org, or a volunteer can collect your pledges at the end of the night. But let's get that bar up more.
I think you've probably seen, we started the ask kind of before you saw some of the benefits of what we've done. So we've done some good work, but I think we can do better, and I think we can dig a little bit deeper. Each semester during the interviews, we ask our students to tell us about their support system, their friends and family who offer hands-on words of encouragement. And often a student support system goes beyond friends and families to include their neighbors, their faith community, and their co-workers. For some students, having a flexible employer makes all the difference in the world. And of course, you can't get through school without having a favorite teacher or professor. So tonight, we're pleased to present the 2018 Supportive Employer Award and the 2018 Supportive Professor Award.
Several employers and professors were nominated, but of course, we can only give out one award in each category. Current scholarship recipient Jennifer Hackler nominated her employer, her supervising teacher at McNair Middle School, Miss Suzanne O'Brien. To receive the Supportive Employer Award, please turn your attention to Jennifer and Susan as Jennifer reads a letter that she actually submitted for the nomination.
I would like to read the nomination letter I submitted for Mrs. O'Brien. Being in Mrs. O'Brien's classroom as her intern for the past semester has made me into the teacher I am now. I am positive that, without her trial by fire, my strengths as an educator would be much less. She pushed me to achieve my very best and to love our students unconditionally. She's never taken it easy on me, which is what I needed throughout the process of internship. I needed to know that someone believed in me enough to push me to constantly improve my teaching practices and to be the best teacher our students deserve. She took an interest in my well-being outside of school and has patiently listened to me cry when I thought my workload was too much to go on. She has been instrumental in using her references to put in good words for me in other schools. She even lent me her car last minute without a second thought when I needed to leave McNair for a job interview and discovered I had a completely flat tire. I'll miss being her co-teacher, but I will always look back fondly at my time at McNair. And I would like to proudly announce that I have accepted a position teaching 6th grade English at Rogers for the upcoming school year. So, Mrs. O'Brien, thank you for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to award Susan O'Brien of McNair Middle School the 2018 Supportive Employer.
Current scholarship recipient Lisa Lures nominated Catherine Heath for the Supportive Professor Award. Catherine teaches English, Comp 1 and 2 at Northwest Arkansas Community College. Lisa is here to share her special experience with her professor. Please welcome Lisa and Catherine.
I am thrilled to read part of my nomination letter for Mrs. Catherine Heath as most supportive professor. Mrs. Heath has been an incredible inspiration and source of encouragement for me on my first year of college. She is very engaging with her students and cares a great deal about their success. She pushed me to make each assignment better than the last. She is tough and doesn't let you get away with slacking. You will get the grade you deserve with the effort you put in her class. Mrs. Heath has been a huge cheerleader for me to succeed. She listened and cared about me and my kids and my future. When I was having a bad day, she listened to me cry and helped me overcome my stress. She has offered to help me with anything I might need, writing help with, or anything, even though I will no longer be her student. I found my voice and my confidence in school because of her. She helped me work on overcoming my fear of speaking in groups with care and compassion. I will forever be grateful for her, and I am very sad that I no longer have the opportunity to have classes with her. A note on a recent paper to me from Mrs. Heath said, "Exemplary effort. Embrace your time. Love all, especially your sons, but love you. When you love yourself, it will shine in all you do. You have thanked me, but I thank you for reminding me why I do what I do. Sometimes I make a difference. God keep you, Mrs. Heath." Please join me in congratulating my professor, Mrs. Catherine Heath, as the 2018 Supportive Professor.
Congratulations to Susan and Catherine, and of course, all of our supportive employers and instructors. They make such a difference in encouraging our scholarship recipients in an effort to pave a pathway to prosperity through education. Now, we do want to give you guys another reminder. I'm so about social media. We want to see that you're interacting tonight, so make sure you are using that hashtag Spark of Hope. Yesterday was National Selfie Day, so snap a selfie and make sure that you are using that hashtag so that we can remind people of this great nonprofit so they'll get involved too. Now, please welcome President of the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of NWA Alumni Association, Megan Young, to present the 2018 Distinguished Alumni Award.
Through the years, your support has resulted in some incredible moms and dads fulfilling their potential, building a solid foundation for their family and putting our community on a pathway to prosperity. We decided it was time to create a special award recognizing their achievements. Tonight, we will present the second annual Distinguished Alumni Award. This award is selected by the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas staff, and it is a surprise award for the winner. The Distinguished Alumni Award recognizes an alumnus who exemplifies the long-term success of the Single Parent Scholarship Program. Someone who has completed their degree, established a successful career, has set an example for their children to follow, and now actively works to give back to the community that supported them while they were in college. I am extremely happy and honored to announce the Distinguished Alumnus for 2018 is Beth Tiller. Beth decided to return to college and earn her Associates in Science of Nursing from NWAC. She was in Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas recipient for 7 semesters, and she earned her degree in 2009, graduating with honors. Now a registered nurse, she works at the Maples in Harbor Meadows as the marketing and assessment nurse after nearly 14 years at Mercy Orthopedics. In September of 2014, Beth married her best friend Brian, who is a great stepfather to their daughter Kayla. Since graduating, Beth has served on the Community Leadership Council, Alumni Association, and Board of Directors. Having just termed out of her first 6-year term last year, Beth has also been a contributor to Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas through recurring monthly donations and a support of the Pathway to Prosperity campaign. Congratulations, Beth.
They really meant this was a surprise. For many, many years, I got this scholarship, and I would always cry when I would talk to folks, and I even had to take a pill one time because I can't talk to people in crowds, and it's terrible. And I just don't even know what I would have done without this scholarship, and I hope that you all know what kind of impact that you make on every single one of these parents. It was a huge impact for me. It was a huge impact for my daughter. My husband's back there laughing, I'm sure. My father just showed up, and I'm almost speechless. My daughter's, well, thank you. My daughter's a junior now, going to be a junior at the University of Arkansas, and she knew how important it was to get an education. She's fearless, and last semester was hard, and this semester was awesome. She came out so ahead, and I don't think it would have been that. I don't think she would have done that without the years that I had in school, and she would see me, and we would study together. So just, again, I really appreciate everything that you do. Give, give, give. Let's get those numbers up there. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Well, my daughter's here, too.
Please welcome Chair of the Single Parent Scholarship Fund Development Committee, Randy Warner.
Sometimes it takes a radical move to change your trajectory, a big, crazy idea to shift your momentum toward a better life. Have you ever felt like you needed a huge life change? Have you ever tried to follow an online tutorial? Would you invest everything in following an online tutorial to change your life? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you are in the right place. Our speaker tonight is best known for being the mom who built a house with her kids using YouTube tutorials. She is the author of 8 books, including Rise, How a House Built a Family. She's appeared on The Today Show, Hallmark Channel, The Harry Show, and thousands of major news publications, with her story being viewed more than 2 billion times worldwide. And it's now being made into a Hollywood feature film. When she isn't working, you'll find her Googling things like how to grow calming teas, how to hand quilt, and how to build a backyard gas grill without blowing anyone up. Helping us build a bigger future this evening, please join me in welcoming from Little Rock, Arkansas, speaker, author, and sometimes house builder, Cara Brookins, presented by Listerine.
Hi, it's great to be here. And I cannot tell you how completely I believe in everything that you guys are doing, contributing so much time and energy and money, keep that coming, to give so many families this big opportunity to have an education. I was able to go to college only because I received a single parent scholarship, and it changed everything for me. Thank you. The opportunity that gave me, we first immediately think of the financial opportunity. Of course, that was there. But it was something so much bigger than that I got from it. It was this idea that somebody, besides my mom, thought little me could do something big. And that stuck with me. I want to share a little bit of my story with you guys tonight, to kind of give you an idea of what a really determined family can do when they get a little bit of opportunity from people like you. And my story starts exactly like some of your weekends probably do. I know my Saturdays still start this way. I wake up and I have this idea for something new I want. So I reach over to my bedstand, grab my phone, and I Google it. The first thing that comes up is always the step-by-step YouTube tutorial of how I could make it myself. And not only does that homemade cake or that homemade motorcycle look even better on a high-resolution screen than it did in my head, it actually looks pretty easy. The entire video is less than 2 minutes long. How hard could that be? By midnight that night, I'm piled on my living room floor with a motorcycle carburetor and 5 pounds of edible glitter. Family members in the next room whispering things like, "I think she's finally lost it. She's in way over her head." Or here in the South, "Well, bless her heart." And all because of YouTube. This entire scenario is exactly what happened when I decided my kids and I would build an entire house by watching YouTube tutorials. Everyone said it was too hard, too complex, too huge of a project for me. I can kind of see where they were coming from. It's a little bit over the top. But I had also seen all those videos. I knew it was possible. And besides, it wasn't like I'd never built anything before in my life. I'd made a bookshelf. Figured I had the basics. I knew how to cut a piece of wood. I knew how to pound in a nail. I knew how to use that smart end of a tape measure. So I figured I just had to find the YouTube videos that said, cut the wood here, pound the nail there, bam, there's a wall. I also had the drive and the motivation to see this all the way through to the end, to keep building walls and watching YouTube videos until we had an entire house. I was so sure my kids and I could do this. I talked a bank into giving me a 9-month construction loan to buy all of the supplies to build the house. We wanted a better life, a safe life, and we could have one. We just had to build it ourselves. And my kids were 17, 15, 11, and 2 when I made this kind of crazy move. I sat down at the dining room table, I sketched this crooked blueprint on the back of a school lunch menu, and we all voted to build a house. The thing that prompted us to do this is about 10 years before, I had married this guy named Adam. Now, Adam was a bright guy. He had a commercial pilot's license, he had a whole stack of US patents for his inventions, but then he started acting kind of strange. He started staring out the window for hours and hours at a time. A few months later, I noticed he wouldn't walk or talk under any of the heat vents in our house. I started finding him at 2 a.m. tapping Morse code messages on our dining room wall. And then I woke up with all the knives from our kitchen lined up around me in the bed. And Adam was diagnosed with full-blown severe paranoid schizophrenia. He became more and more dangerous, and we eventually divorced. But for the next decade, he kept coming back and tormenting my kids and I. Years after we divorced, I would wake up and find all these strange symbols drawn on the outsides of my kids' bedroom windows. I'd come home from work and find my pets tortured. More than once, I had to hold him at gunpoint, knowing I might have to shoot him before the police got there. My kids and I were living in this state of constant fear. And during that time, I met this muscled-up, overprotective guy who promised he would help take care of us. I believed him. I thought he could protect us, and I married him. And he was horribly physically abusive for 3 years before I divorced and the kids and I were on our own again. But we were these broken people by that time with these really, really small futures. Because you can't just instantly go from this place of trying to keep everyone alive one more day to this idea that life is big and has no limits. I was trying to get us there, I really was, but it was hard. And the more I worked at it, the further down we got. So I just started thinking, what if? What if the kids and I could do just some kind of a little project together? Maybe that would build up our self-esteem. Now, my kids would warn all of you guys, if I ever say, hey, we should do some kind of a little project together, you should probably run. We also really needed a place to live, but we couldn't afford to buy a place that I thought we would all be proud of. So I started sitting down every night and brainstorming, thinking, what would any single mom do in this situation? And then one night, after a couple of YouTube videos, it came to me. She would arm her teenagers with power saws, nail guns, and a hammer drill, and they'd build a house. And it just so happens that's exactly the kind of radical move, the kind of massive leap that it takes to rebuild your life. To prove to yourself, your kids, maybe the entire world, that there really are no limits. And the thing that took me to that realization was something that had happened years before. when I stepped into a single parent scholarship office, 100% sure they were just going to turn me down. And instead, they looked me in the eye and they said, "We believe you can do this. We believe that you're willing to put in the hard work and take the action to give your kids a better life." And it was because I had gotten that degree and I had a great job as a computer programmer that I qualified for the loan that allowed me to build the house. And that mindset shift that they had fed me years before about taking that action changed everything. Of course, no matter how great your mindset is, building a house is still really hard. I remember the first day that we showed up out on the construction site, an acre of land in December here in Arkansas, freezing cold, to work on our house. We stood out there and we pounded these cut-off broom handles down into the half-frozen ground. And then we were able to look and see for the first time in 3 dimensions the future location of our house. That first day, we left fearless, on top of the world, bold for the first time in more than a decade. Of course, the next day I showed up and I did everything wrong. Everything went terrible. And I left shell-shocked, realizing how far in over my head I was with this project. And I had this horrible sinking feeling that what if, instead of empowering my kids like I had set out to do with this project, what if I was actually setting them up for the biggest failure of their lives? And that thought was exactly the push that I needed. Because what was the alternative? There was no way I was going to go home and look my kids in the eye and say, "You know what? We're just not going to be able to do this after all. It's just too hard." No, after everything I'd been through, after everything they had been through, they deserved more than that. They deserved what I had learned in school. They deserved a mom who would show up and teach them how to reach for their biggest dream, and then show them how to put in that really hard work to make it a reality. They deserved to do something impossible. So we kept showing up. It was my job to keep them motivated, to keep the confidence up, to keep watching YouTube videos. And we kept showing up for 9 months and building this house. Today, it's a 3,500 square foot house. We have 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a floor-to-ceiling library, plus a 3-car garage, a big shop, and a 2-story treehouse. Every single day, these kids, they wake up surrounded by proof that our bodies and our minds can do incredible things. We built this whole house, and we rebuilt our family. Today, they're plowing through life with this fearless determination. There's no sign of those small, broken kids. They've gone to college in Fairbanks, Alaska, Denver, Colorado, Los Angeles, California, Washington, D.C., and Toronto, Canada. They're building businesses, they're building big lives, and there's no holding them back. And it all started because somebody reached out and gave me the opportunity. And we thought when we started this project that the most important thing we needed was a house. But it wasn't the house at all. It was the process of building that house, of taking action to make our life better that changed everything. Now, you guys are absolutely amazing for showing up tonight and supporting everything here. And I know by all the programs that I've heard and the tears I've shared as people have cried on stage, I know the energy that you guys have put into this, and I feel the positive energy in the room. But I also know how hard it is as an individual to sometimes get a really good feeling for what your small stake in a big project like this is, for what kind of a difference you can make as one person. I hope that showing up here tonight and hearing all of these stories and hearing my story will help remind you how important each individual is, and that really the truth is that just that small belief that a big thing is possible is all that it takes to do the impossible. Keep showing up, keep giving, and I can't wait to see what this organization builds next. Thank you.
Okay, if all the stories up here tonight have not inspired you to give, I don't know what can, because I gave. So you guys should too. But we got to thank our sponsors, because of course a big event like this wouldn't be possible without those gracious donations from our sponsors. So of course we got to thank the Walton Family Charitable Support Foundation, Listerine, Pat and Willard Walker Charitable Foundation for their leadership gifts, which make scholarships possible. And of course, thanks to Cox Communications, KNWA and Fox 24, iHeartMedia and Cityscapes Magazine, who ensure the single parents throughout Northwest Arkansas know that a brighter future can be theirs through higher education. And of course, special appreciation to Studio Chunky, who created those award-winning video packages. Love them. And a complete list of our sponsors is, of course, on your table. But let's get to the dollar amount. You guys have been giving all night, and I think this deserves a drum roll. We exclusively know the number. Drum roll, right? So tonight, you guys have raised $23,000. Definitely exceeded that goal, but if you still have a heart for giving, you can still give through that website, and of course, on your table, we have those cards.
And there's nothing wrong with, I know Tyler will take a check just about any time, right? Yeah, so he's never one to turn down any money. It's also, you know, we talked about this being a two-generation type thing. So you've seen tonight firsthand how this is going to impact generations to come. So just continue to give. I want to thank all of you that are here tonight to support the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas. You've heard Jessica Frasher, you've heard the Cook family, we've heard from Jacqueline Anderson. Single parent families are building strong base from their future, for our future, with the help of all of you and the Single Parent Scholarship Fund. And together, we're creating a better, brighter Northwest Arkansas. Thank you to our sponsors for their support in making the Spark of Hope a celebration of a community's investment in education. And congratulations to all of our award winners. But most of all, congratulations to each scholarship recipient and their kids. Your commitment to education is just the beginning to your bright futures. We look forward to seeing you again next year. Remember, chocolate cupcakes are terrible. Leave them on your tables.
And don't forget, Cara's going to be signing her book too.
Yes.
So if you want to talk to her about her inspirational story, she is going to be out there after. I highly suggest talking to her. We had a great time chatting with her earlier.
So thank you. Good night. We'll see you next year. Y'all be safe.